there. Well, President Donald Trump wrapping up a marathon cabinet meeting just a short time ago. The president announcing plans for a 50% tax on copper imports and potentially a 200% tariff on foreign prescription drugs. Trump also touting his decision to bomb Iranian nuclear facilities and says Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will return to the White House in a few hours to talk about Gaza. News Nation's Kelly Myers live for us out at the White House with more. And Kelly, the president also says he is considering new sanctions on Russia and giving blunt words for Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, absolutely, Anna. And this is interesting to see this shift for President Donald Trump. We were talking about this last hour that, you know, in the beginning of this, it seemed, or in the last few months, it seemed as though the president was a bit more harsh on Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, saying it was more difficult to work with him than he thought. And he seemed to have this good or a pleasant relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin. That seems to be changing or shifting a bit with the latest comments we've heard from President Donald Trump, especially in this meeting today. I wanted to play a bit of what he had to say in that cabinet meeting about Russia's leader, and then we'll talk more about his moves on the other side.
The Ukrainians, whether you think it's unfair that we gave all that money or not, they were very brave because somebody had to operate that stuff. And a lot of people I know wouldn't be operating it. They wouldn't have the courage to do it. So they fought very bravely. But that was a war that should have never happened. And a lot of people are dying, and it should end. And I don't know, we get a lot of bullshit thrown at us by Putin, for you want to know the truth. He's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless.
Now, this could be a way to get Russian President Vladimir Putin to the table on more talks. He's been seeing some movement, as we've seen, with the Israel-Iran ceasefire. Now he's pushing for the Israel-Hamas ceasefire. And this Russia-Ukraine war is something that he hasn't yet been able to solve, and he really wants to bring that war to an end. In the meantime, he is saying that he is going to send Ukraine more defensive weapons. Another shift for President Trump. Some in his base, in the MAGA base, wanted to see shipments to Ukraine end because there was concern about our own U.S. stockpile. But he said that those would continue. There's also movement on the Hill. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham was pushing for additional sanctions on Russia, harder sanctions on Russia. And this is something that President Trump was weighing, now seems to be warming up to. So we may see some movement on that on Capitol Hill as well, Anna.
All right, and Kelly, you know, the president also talked quite a bit about these new tariffs that are set to begin August the 1st, and announcing a 90-day tariff pause in the spring. The administration promised 90 deals in 90 days, but to date, only 2 deals that we have, one with the UK and another with Vietnam, have now been announced. Is that right? What's the president promising now?
Yeah, it seems to be that goal line keeps being pushed back. He said today, though, that it wasn't, that it was final on August 1st. That is the final date. But we saw, as you mentioned, the 90-day freeze on his sweeping tariffs. That was set to be over on July 9th, tomorrow. But he extended that now a few more weeks, 4 more weeks until August 1st, more time to get those deals done. He also is sending out these letters we keep seeing on True Social to different countries, telling them what their tariff rate is and saying this is what you're going to pay. So he's trying to make sure that people are coming to the table, but we'll wait and see what more deals he's able to make here. Anna?
Yep, and we can't forget critics say that these tariffs are ending up being a tax on the American people, but he's trying to stop the United States from, quote, getting ripped off and try to bring American manufacturing back home. Kelly Meyer, live for us at the White House. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.